So this is my very first YouTube video ever, and I don't know yet if I'm gonna keep the YouTube going. But the reason I'm making this video is because I'm gonna spend the summer freediving intensely, 2 months. And I thought I'd film a little pack with me, because when I got into freediving a couple of years ago, especially maybe 1.5 years ago, I really started focusing on it. I was a bit overwhelmed with all of the equipment that is out there. There's so many things. And even though I come from surfing, so I'm used to equipment and being in the water, it's completely different. And I didn't find so much information out there. So I thought I'd just explain the basics because I know it would have been useful to me a year ago. And I'm only going to travel with the carry-on luggage, with just one backpack and one small bag. So we're going to have to fit all of this in there somehow. And we have a little added difficulty, which I just decided yesterday because I just got my motorbike license, and I decided that it would be super nice to rent a motorbike to the places where I'm going. So we're also going to take some motorbike gear, most of which I'm probably going to have to use on the flight. So the boots and the jacket I'm going to have to wear on the plane. I'm also taking a buff, which is good for motorbike riding, but it's super, super useful for freediving as well. So this is something I usually, no matter the temperature, it can be super hot. It's really nice to put on after diving, to dry your ears, to keep your ears really warm. So I always carry this with me when I'm diving. But the rest of the protection gear, I think I'm just going to try to chuck into my backpack. Right. Then let's start with the diving stuff. I'm going to take this, it's like an explosive safety device, which I'm going to test there. I used it a couple of times, never needed it, just tried it for fun. And I have the safety capsules for this waiting for me. And then for the gear, I'm going to start at the very top. This I'm probably going to wear on the plane as well. Yeah. And I'm going to use a mask. And this one is actually really cool. I think it's from the South African brand. I'm not fully sure. But it's from a sustainable brand, which is really cool because, first of all, you have a super wide field of vision. And every single part of this is replaceable. So if, for example, the strap breaks, you can simply exchange that one without chucking away the whole mask. And the snorkels from them as well. I really like them. So I'm going to bring them. Let's see if I can bring the case, if it fits in. Otherwise, I'm going to have to, I don't know, put it in a sock or something. But this one is actually just for kind of very casual fun dives when I'm doing safety on other people, or when I'm, for example, exploring a reef or a cave or something like this. Because for the actual training dives, I'm diving without a mask and I'm using a nose clip. Yeah. These ones are surprisingly expensive, actually. This is by Octopus. It's a really good one. So when I dive, I use this to equalize at greater depth. I'm super lucky. I'm one of the few people that can equalize hands-free, so I can just equalize like this. Freedivers will know it. People who are a bit more new to freediving, probably, you usually equalize this, like this. I'm able to equalize without my hands to a certain depth until I have to do the mouth fill, and then I do need this one. So I wear it around my neck. But like I said, I always leave this on the buoy for safety reasons when I do safety on other people. Then I'm also bringing a lanyard. It's kind of a leash in surfing, but just that you use it to attach yourself to the line that you're training on. Again, this is from Octopus. Quite expensive, but I think worth it. And you attach this one on the line that you're training with. And it's much easier to be rescued at greater depth if needed. I never needed it so far. I never needed to actually rescue someone, luckily. But it's much easier to find someone if you need, if they're attached to the rope. Or you can pull up the rope to bring them up to the surface. All right. Then I'm also bringing my own belt. I'm not bringing my own weights. Probably I'm not going to need much weights anyway for this suit. Probably like maybe 2 kilos will be enough. But I'm not carrying my weights because of the weight, and also usually security. Sometimes they let you take it. Most of the time, no, so I'm not taking it. And Then, my favorite part, I got a new suit, and it's a very classic open cell two-piece freediving suit. I got this one, I bought it recently from Elias. It's an Italian brand, and it's fully customized. So I measured my body, and it's perfect. And I asked them specifically to put it all black, and it's lined on the inside, so it's very easy to put on, but it's quite fragile on the outside. And I asked them to not put any logos on because I think it looks nicer. So here, these are the pants, and they come up kind of until here, and then the second part, it's like a body. So you close it here, and then it's like this with a hood. And I used it a few times here in Portugal already, and it's amazing. All right. Then I'm also taking my socks to be able to use my fins a bit better, because with my socks, the fins are like super, super tight, which gives you a bit more power. And these are my fins, which I got maybe 6 months ago. They're carbon fins, and I love them. They're absolutely amazing. For freediving, by far my favorite discipline is doing bifins. So it's really nice to have good fins. And I'm also taking kind of a couple more water outfits. I'm taking like a two-piece, which I'm going to use on more like casual, maybe exploring reefs or maybe some pool trainings. And I'm also taking an additional neoprene vest, either if it's surprisingly going to be much colder than I think, but I don't think so. Right now, I think the Mediterranean has around 27, 28 degrees. But anyway, an additional layer, or again, for pool trainings or smaller dives. All right. Let's put it all in my bag. Actually, I'm going to take this one on the plane, so I can train a little bit on the plane. Suit. All right, and you can see kind of my bag is almost full. The nice part about this, I don't know why they made this. But I don't think they made it for freedivers, but it's perfect for freedivers, because I carried this on the plane a few times, and so far they always let me carry this on the plane. So I'm just gonna do it like this. Some people, they take off the foot pockets, but honestly I prefer not to. All right. Then for my personal belongings, it's much less, because simply I don't have any space. Like I said, these things I take on the plane, kind of with me, because this one is going to be so full, I absolutely cannot open it. I'm always taking a water bottle, and I'm taking one charger for everything. For non-Apple people, you know how nice it is if you have one single charger for your GoPro, your phone, your computer, literally everything. So this one also goes here, together with my phone, my passport, because I'm also traveling outside of Europe, my wallet, and a little notebook. All right. Then I'm also bringing my computer in a protection case. Put this in. And this is a little case for all of my other electronics, of which I'm bringing quite a few things. Some of these are for diving, some of these are for content. The main thing, of course, is my GoPro. This one is the 10 Black. It's not the newest, but I really like it. And I put it in this additional case, because GoPro is not waterproof when you go a little bit deeper. I don't know if it's, I think, to 10 meters or maybe even 5 meters. Or maybe 20, I don't know. It's only waterproof to a few meters, so if you're a free diver or scuba diver, you definitely need an additional case, and it also protects it while traveling. And then I use this one. This one floats to, I don't know how deep, to a certain depth. It will always come back to the surface afterwards. I assume not, but I really like it for free diving. Then for my electronics, bringing a hard drive. It's kind of like a backup of my most important things. I'm bringing a couple of jewelry. I'm bringing another watch that I use for kind of like dry training, because this one tracks my heartbeat, my oxygen levels. It's usually when I train apnea, I usually use the Stamina app, and then I use this watch. I'm also bringing a couple of GoPro accessories, mainly for motorbike riding. Actually, I don't have much experience with this. I'm just gonna try it out. I'm bringing also my torch. This one is super, super good. It's quite strong. I don't know if yeah, it's super strong. And this one is amazing either for freediving at night or for freediving in caves, which is something I really, really like doing. And well, some people do it without torches, but for now I really prefer, especially if I don't know the cave yet, I prefer to take a torch. And then I'm bringing also a dive computer. Probably I'm actually going to take off the handles because I don't like to wear it on my wrist. I kind of put it into my hood. I put it right here, and it gives me alarms for a certain depth. I can also put it for time, but I don't usually do that. I usually put it for like 10 or 15 meters or wherever I want to charge my mouth fill. And then I do a second depth, which is kind of close to what I'm expecting to dive, just so I have an orientation what's going on. I didn't use it until not too long ago, but since I started using it, I do really, really like it. So I put everything in this case, and I chuck it in my backpack. All right, I'm taking one pair of sunnies, and I'm taking two sun hats as well. Which one is more for like hiking or something, and this is like full protection because I have really sensitive skin. And it's going to be super hot. I'm going to Malta and then to Turkey, so it's going to be upwards of 30, probably upwards of 40 degrees. So I'm going to need all of the protection I can have. This is just for tying up my hair at night. And oh, by the way, this is my diving hairstyle. I tried quite a few things over the last year, and this is the one that works best because I did quite a lot of research online on what people with longer hair like to do for diving. And for surfing, somehow it's not such a big issue to me because the hoods are not as tight. But for diving, especially if you have an open cell wetsuit inside, it's an absolute nightmare with longer hair. And I read and I saw many videos online of people putting conditioner in their hair. But I think for one, it's not very nice for the ocean. Even if it's biological, I don't think it's nice to put any products in the ocean. And the second, it actually breaks down your wetsuit. So if you have anything that is oil-based, it's extremely bad for neoprene. So I try not to have product in my hair, but I put it into this hairstyle. Well, maybe one day I make another video of it, but I think there's much more good content out there. So I just kind of lock it up there, and I can leave it for a couple of days, especially also if I ride a motorbike, helmet on and off, and then wet a couple of times per day in traveling. It's super good because my hair is quite long, quite curly, quite hard to manage. So this is good. So I do the hairstyle maybe once or maximum twice a week. Yeah, this is it. Then I'm taking two supplements. Those are just the most basic supplements because I eat mainly plant-based. So this is like a multi-spectrum vegan, which has iron as well, because it's really nice to not be iron deficient while freediving. And it has B12, kind of all the basics. And this is an additional antioxidant because especially if you dive quite a lot, if you dive a little bit deeper, there's not too much research on it because freediving is such a young sport. But it is expected to release a lot of free radicals, so it's nice to have some antioxidants. It's always nice. Right. These are just my personal clothes, and you can see it's kind of a really small part of my luggage. Yeah. I would like to take one piece of fabric, kind of as a towel, as everything. So I'm not going to go through that. Right. And then just as a last part, it's my cosmetics, which I'm not going to go through everything, but some things I think are really important for free diving. So I'm gonna bring a couple of sun sticks because, like I said, my skin is extremely sensitive, and the sun is going to be strong, and especially with the wind and the water, it's really harsh. So I just cover my entire face once a day, and I just leave it on. I'm also bringing 2 eardrops, kind of just in case. One is for drying and one is for inflammation, just in case I'm gonna need it. I don't usually have problems with ear infections at all, but if you're abroad, sometimes it's nice to just have the things that you can read whatever is written on the package. Bringing a disinfectant, bringing eye drops because I wear contact lenses, and the diving it's kind of hard, especially if you dive without a mask. I do open my eyes underwater a bit, and if you wear contact lenses, like your eyes are extra sensitive. But yeah, that's it. And this is kind of everything. It's a bit full, but I think if I'm gonna repack it better, I can actually fit everything in there. Maybe I'll just skip forward and I'm gonna insert the clip then. Alright, everything fits. And off to the airport.